Hey, welcome to everybody. My name is Jonathan Tripp. I am the host of our show. Today it's Friday, so it's Talk Social News. So we're going to be talking about what's going on in the news for this past week. I was really struggling this week to find out what to talk about because I was really hoping for like a new social network to launch on Monday, get all the subscribers, and then totally crash on Friday, and that didn't happen. So I was a little disappointed. But I think there's a few other things that are going on. Something, have you ever heard of video? Apparently that's getting big. If Facebook's getting bigger. Facebook companies are getting bigger. Let's see here. How do I say Facebook is trying to take over the world of social media? Let's see here. I'm really struggling. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really kind of actually shocked a little bit about just the downward slope it seems that we're going in social media, and I'll kind of explain why. But for those of you guys that have been watching us, thank you guys for watching us. And if you haven't already, if you've never seen the show, we have been broadcasting the show for this is actually episode 200. This episode is episode 200. I'm very proud of that fact, and not because I've achieved some level of success, or because I'm excited and I'm proud of myself in that I made it to 200. I never set out to do 200. I just started to do the show and do one show at a time. And it was a Periscope show, and then we took it to another platform and along with us, the audience has kind of come along, and they watch in different capacities. Some on replays, some watch us live. And I've just been really amazed at it hasn't even been quite a year, because we broadcast mainly weekdays at 10 a.m. That's been traditionally when we've been doing our show live. And so, I want to say thank you to all of the viewers, and I didn't put together like a montage video or anything like this, but we have been going, like I said, for about 200 episodes, and I went through, and I know there's probably more that we never recorded, or we didn't know or didn't think to record, or the recording died, so I just kind of took those out of the mix. And you guys have been watching. Not all of you guys watch like all 200 episodes, and gosh, I mean, I don't think I would watch all 200 episodes if I wasn't actually hosting the show. But we've had guests on, and I'm gonna guess we've probably had between 50 and 90,000 viewers on the show, viewers of the show over those 200 episodes. And I just think that's kind of cool. I really do. Like, not because, like, I mean, are the numbers absolutely stellar? Are they viral video? Are they anything like that? No, they're not. But I never set out for that. I only set out to connect with more people. I set out to learn more things, to do something that I didn't think that I would ever do or want to do, but I tried it and I really enjoyed it. I still do really enjoy it. Don't get me wrong by hearing me say that. So when it comes to Talk Social News, and this is just like our Friday wrap-up edition, I'll kind of go over the things that I know that we've talked about. But for those of you guys that have been watching, or if you're brand new to this episode, and I'd appreciate it if you're those that are watching this live, if you guys would just share the show out, just tweet it out. I love actually seeing also the tweets, and kind of just connecting with those people on Twitter. And I just think it's another one of those really great opportunities where a community connects better and connects more fully. But if you haven't yet, it's always the encouragement, hey, sign up on our mailing list at jonathantripp.com/better social. That's our email community. And consequently, also on that page, you'll also actually be able to watch the show live. And I do post this out on a couple other social media platforms and things like that, which is kind of cool. I'd be honest, that's kind of cool. And I'm dropping the live link. Well, here, yeah, if you're watching us live in Fire Talk, and that's where we host the show for the broadcast, and we send it out from there. But if you haven't already, you can actually go over to firetalk.com, and then it's you'll see me on on the page there, and you'll just be able to find me at Jonathan Tripp Live. But let's kind of get into like what happened this week in news, in social media news, or things that are kind of important, at least that I feel are important. That's really kind of the basis of the show. It's kind of like a wrap up. I know this week we talked about a bunch of stuff. Mainly it's to kind of go over a little bit. We talked about sharing your brand on Instagram and how that's changing. And we saw really big changes in Instagram this week, and probably one of the biggest ones that came out was the Instagram stories, which was an amazingly original idea that Instagram came up with, just really innovating the field of social media and the ways that we're able to connect. It's never been done before. They've never done it before either. Between the algorithms and the ads, Instagram really just came out with a really new and innovative way to connect with their audiences. That was a complete lie. That was absolute complete. I couldn't even make it through that. No, Instagram stole Snapchat stories, which was completely amazingly awesome with the way they did it. Because, see, I guess the way that if with Facebook and with their whole thinking, their whole marketing business strategy, their marketing business plan, right? If you can't come up with it yourself, you buy it from somebody else. You buy their company. Well, what do you do when they say no? Well, if you can't beat them, join them, right? And if you can't join them, copycat them. I don't know, but I mean, why? So now Instagram has basically the same thing that Snapchat has. Well, for right now they do. And there's a couple of things. Why do I think it's actually a winner on Snapchat? On Instagram. Here's the reason why. Okay. It's already a super huge platform. They have other users outside of just a local U.S. market, okay, which is really super important for channel growth, for audience growth, for revenue growth, okay. They already have an ad platform integrated with Instagram so that they can monetize more of the user base, okay? And that's going to be super important for the long run. And it's monetizing within most people's reaches, not necessarily their expertise, but they're able to, as marketers or as business owners, able to leverage Instagram, which I think in the long term, that's what's going to sustain the platform beyond just having really cool geo filters, tagging, hashtagging, lenses, editing, pens, colors, shapes, AR, whatever. The long term is, can you sustain the platform through the ads? And the answer, I already believe, is yes. So not only do they have the ability, a large user audience, they have the ability to monetize it. They're adding a lot of the same social features. It's only available for 24 hours. I do actually like how it's almost like a separate feature where the two don't intermix, because I can post on my Instagram wall and do a story, and never the twain shall meet. So if I do my Instagram story, it's not going to show up on my wall, which I'm kind of okay with that. And it kind of makes me go, well, why don't they have it so that I can watch that person's story from their profile? That would be kind of interesting. All right. So what does this mean for Snapchat? What it means for Snapchat is that the big thing that I think what it means for Snapchat is this, that they are getting beat first to a number of other markets that they're not in because of the reach, the platform reach, and the backing of Facebook in the worldwide, in the global marketplace. That's probably just what happened, whether we know it or not. We just haven't seen it. That's my guess. It has made Snapchat not quite as... It has reduced the reach of being the first or the innovator in a number of other worldwide markets, and they're just not going to do that. So I just kind of see that as it's a cool thing. And if Facebook can even just get you to not use Snapchat as much, they're winning. Okay, in the same way that if Facebook can get you to use Periscope and Twitter less, then they're winning, which they are with Twitter, because they keep losing money even though they're getting more users. People are doing less scopes. People are using actually a lot of other platforms and using Facebook Live because it's there and it's all integrated. So I just think, I think Facebook is winning the game. All right. Now, having said that, what are some other platforms? And we were talking about live video, and we do use a lot of live video because we're hosting this on. There's lots of live video platforms out there. Social media wise, Facebook is still doing a really amazing job at marketing a crap product, or maybe not as good as what I would hope it would be, or maybe some features that they're not going to, right? But the whole point is that I think that the video that Facebook has, it's what they have, and people, it's so integrated, it's so easy to use, people just can't help not use it. Okay, so now we've got some other platforms out there, and I wasn't really sure how they were ever going to do this. How are they going to integrate live video, or just even having a more native video within the platform? And I'm thinking of LinkedIn, and they've already announced some more Q&A style video chatting with influencers, which to me is just kind of the same thing as saying, so we already have influencers that we're pushing their content because we think that they're influencers, so they get more traffic, so that they're more of an influencer, so they get more traffic, and round it goes. Now we're going to add video to the mix to further help push the influencers up, and it really, to me, it makes a lot of the other content that's out there really actually harder to find, because we're so seeing the influencers, and round it goes. Okay, but LinkedIn is going to be doing some of that with they're going to be having some of that with some like live, the LinkedIn. It's a native video, it's Q&A style. So, and I'm excited for that. Like, I want to see how they go, because that's a good innovation. I think that LinkedIn needs to, outside of just the merger or the acquisition of LinkedIn by Microsoft. I want to see how they're going to improve LinkedIn and what the benefit is for LinkedIn and its users, aka me, as it going forward. Now, kind of talking also about live native video, something I didn't really think was going to happen quite the way, and I'm kind of glad it's not just going to another live video, but another live video option in yet another social media platform. But I'm really excited to see Pinterest is getting a native video experience. So now if you put a LinkedIn, if you put a link in Pinterest, say to your YouTube, you have to click on it, and it's like a couple of steps, and then it will play. Well, they're coming out with a newer native version of that video. So and I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work, but it seems that what it's going to be is that as you're scrolling through your pins on your, and I would imagine it's going to be available on the mobile, that you'll be able to, without having to click in, about 3-4 clicks in, you'll be able to watch the video very quickly, because it's going to be native to the app. It's not going to be another link or an outside link or anything like that. It's going to be right inside, and I'm really excited to see that. Okay, I'm really excited to see it, because I do want to see how Pinterest is going to be leveraging video, because I think if they don't, they're going to be left behind, and not in a super cool way. So I see a couple of those things as being pretty awesome. Now, you guys kind of early on, I kind of said, I was really looking forward to seeing a social media platform or a networking platform or some kind of a social online platform gain momentum and get its users, and then peak out by, say, Wednesday, and then bad news comes out on Thursday, and then they close their doors on Friday because of bad publicity. I was kind of saying that tongue in cheek, but doesn't it feel that way over, say, the last, 3, 4, 5, 6 months or so, that we've seen launches of in whether it's a gaming app, a social app, a messaging app, a video app, or whatever, that these mobile experiences, they're actually coming online so fast, they're growing so fast and then they crash so fast, or they start declining right away. And right off the bat, one of the numbers I saw was with Pokemon, that they were rising so fast and they were getting so much attention. And then, I mean, there was one point where I couldn't find any other news other than Pokemon and Pokemon this and Pokemon this. And then there was some of the, oh well, it's not actually produced by Nintendo, it's actually produced by another company. And then the shares dropped, and then there was bad publicity because people were getting hurt using the app irresponsibly, or things like, and it just kind of goes on and on and on. And in the midst of that, somebody was watching some of the numbers, and they were actually watching the numbers decline, or it looked like it had peaked out, which is very interesting. And I feel that way with a lot of the other social. It's the social, whether it's a feature, and that's why I'm really interested to see how Instagram Stories is really going to play out in the same way that Facebook is really going to play out. I've seen overall a change in the last, what do we hear, August? So the last 8 to 10 months, I've seen a huge change in the number of live stream, the accessibility of live stream shows, things like that, where there used to be so many of them. And you could pick. You want to talk about something to do with Pinterest, or if you wanted to learn about how to use a social app, or you wanted to learn how to create a sales funnel or write emails for email marketing, you want to know how to put together an ad, you would have multiple shows within just that one niche that you could find, and they were very easy to find. In reputation management. Sorry, Q. But you would have multiple instances of any particular topic to choose from, and that's just not the case anymore. It's actually increasingly difficult to find them, and I think because that I can do a show has worn off. And what that really means is that I think that some people think that they can, much like a lot of bloggers, I just start a blog, and so they just start reposting other content, or they write 200-word blog posts, and then that's it. And they do that for about 2 weeks, and they say, "Oh, this is too hard," and then they quit. Well, I almost kind of get the feeling that's the way that a lot of the live shows have kind of gone. That, oh, this is too hard, so we're just going to do something else. Like they kind of hopped on, and now they're out. Well, has Facebook Live actually solved that problem for people? And my answer is no. I don't think they have. They've made it a social aspect. They've made live streaming a very social, very personalized event, which is, I guess, on the one side is very good. And we've seen people use Facebook Live video in a very wide range of ways. Not all of them are good. Some of them are, has caused a lot of national, at least here in the U.S., struggle with just from the subject matter to the controversy. We've seen a lot of the use of Facebook Live, as well as other live platforms, but for a variety of use, not just business, not just marketers, marketing to marketers, none of that kind of stuff. So where I actually see a lot of this going is that I think the dust is settling within the live stream market, within the live video market. I see that the dust is kind of settling. You see some people are just ready to pivot, and we have to kind of take those out. But there used to be so much. How many of you guys remember, that it doesn't matter if you were on if your Twitter feed was just flooded with, "Hey, I'm going live, I'm going live, I'm going live." It's not that way. Okay, we've kind of hit. I think we've hit almost a saturation point where we have more consumers now than we do broadcasters. And I'm not saying this is, so if you're a broadcaster, this is the perfect time to ramp it up. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're a broadcaster, this is the time to get super smart with your content and make it the best content that you can. If that means doing less, then do less, but do better. Don't do more and do worse. Do less and do better. That's what I see is happening now. And if you aren't prepared to do that, I think you're just going to get lost, and your viewership's going to go down and down and down. Okay, so it doesn't matter what social media platform you're on, because there are so many of them. And this is the other thing I wanted to talk about today. And it's less news, as in like brand new news, but it's in the way that we're using all of these social platforms. Where if you're not on Facebook and Twitter, if you're not in LinkedIn now, because by the way, I don't know if you guys know that LinkedIn stock just went up because of the attention that it's gone. A lot of people are hopping in, and they're updating a lot of their profiles, and they're posting new content, and people are using the platform in anticipation of something really great happening. But what that does is that means that they're doing something less probably somewhere else. Okay, but if you're not in the Google Plus and LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube and Pinterest and your live streaming apps and and on and on and on, if you're and people are and particularly marketers and businesses, they're getting to a point where and Snapchat, I forgot to mention Snapchat. Sorry guys, and Instagram. Sorry. We're hitting a place where we can't keep up with the content that's going out there. And I've seen it, and I think that's where we're having a lot less content producers and a lot more content consumers. The balance is shifting back to the consumer side. Okay? It's more, and Terry, you're absolutely right. It's more important, and I'm going to say than ever, to build your house now. Send everybody to your house party. House party. Very well played. Very well done. And Binny, yes, download Binny. So this is kind of where it goes. It's the question, and we talked about this a little bit earlier in this week, actually yesterday, when we talked about create an online community. And I think that now is the time you double down on it. You really super concentrate. You have a great message, and it's not just branding and marketing. It's really good content. Have the best content that you can produce. So that, because I think if you're flooding the marketplace or your audience's feed with too much content now, I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to pay less and less attention to you. So if you're doing that, I think it's time that you really kind of step back. And I'm not saying you're a spammer. I'm saying step back and produce better content or more significant content if you can. And if you can't, just pull back and participate in a community and connect with people that are. And I think that you will gain better traction. And instead of just trying to simply go out and make your own in every single platform, pick a platform, find a community, interact. Because there's so much content out there, it's you as a consumer are going to get overloaded. So pick your place. Pick your content leaders. Those that you feel are making content, and so in that includes written form, the video, pre-recorded video, live video, articles, infographic. Find what the content is, and there's not that you only read one or only watch one type. My point is this: that you're getting to a place where you can then consume the right amount of content that's feeding you and helping you be better at what you're going to do, because there's so much out there. It's like going to the content buffet. You don't need the entire buffet. Take what you need, enjoy it, and just know that there's always going to be more when you come back. All right? So that's this week in the news. That's my kind of mini rant, and thank you guys that have been watching us now on this Fire Talk now. And I'm really super excited because I really do see there's some really great things going on. This week we talked about online community, and I really do need to walk the talk, so to speak, right? For our social networking group, there's different ways to say it, but I will say this: if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do join our Facebook group. The easy way to do is group.jonathantripp.com. But if you're not into Facebook and want to join and see what Google Plus is about and the way that they're using their communities, how it's slightly different, but I still think it's a valid place to grow a community, you can go over to googleplus.jonathantripp.com. And that those are just forwarding addresses to get you over to the group, because the link is so amazingly long, it's ridiculous. So but I do want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching for it's been almost a year now, give or take, maybe the last 10, 11 months, that have been watching and have help us get us to episode 200, which is today's show. So with that, I want to say a very direct thank you for those people that have supported me. If you support me on Patreon, I really appreciate that. Going forward, we're going to continue to use Patreon. Patreon's actually going to become one of the bigger places that we're going to produce content for our users. And we're doing that as a reward for those that invest in it. Even if it's like $1 a month, I'm going to say put your money, even as $1, put your money where you think it's going to be well invested, and you'll be surprised at what you get back, because I think that's really what the show's going to become about. So, but thank you guys for watching. Let's head over to the main channel, and we're going to do just afterwards, we're going to have our after show party. So this is going to be Talk Social News After Party. Is that how we're going to say it? Yeah, I think that's how we'll say it. So with that, guys, I'm going to say thank you so much. And join me over there. And if you're watching this on the replay, just watch this on the YouTube channel. We've got tons of other videos that have been put, and they're also going to start getting put out. So, guys, I can't wait to see you there. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.